Yes, we're good. All right, let's call the meeting order, salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of members.
Trustee Trombley.
Here.
Trustee Malinsky. Here. Trustee Trombley.
Here.
Trustee Garrett. Here. Mayor McFetrich.
Here. Approval of the minutes of the previous meetings, February 10th, 2020. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second? Second. Discussion, questions,
No.
corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Approval for the meeting February 24th, 2020.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And approval of the minutes of February 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
Question, so, you were ordering 2 more tires in addition to the 2 tires?
Yeah,
What, just for backstock?
no, for 2 different machines.
Okay.
One was for Kubota, the other one's from New Holland.
Okay, it says 2 new tires for Kubota at a cost of $400, the amount increases this amount by $140 to include 2 additional tires.
Correct, originally,
Oh,
you had approved
Got
it to 400.
Yep.
And we added 2 more tires, the total was 540 for all 4.
Okay,
So we amended it and then re-voted on it.
okay. And that all had to be ordered before today's meeting? That's why you had the extra?
Yeah, big savings. I think it was $600
It was-
if we were
No,
purchasing.
that
Was-
that was, is it
Not only
both on
just
here?
the
Yes.
tires, I mean some of the other.
On the other stuff, there was a $600 some savings by doing it then,
That
and now we
day.
got an extra 25% off,
Sweet,
so.
I was curious.
Yeah.
Not on the tires, we had to do them at the same time, because it had to be changed, but on the other stuff, it was over $600 savings.
Did you send an email out about that meeting?
I did not because I got notification about a few minutes before I had to leave, and so I just called the people that I knew were in the village.
Right, no, and that's fine, the reason I'm asking is I am having trouble with this elimination of Prime Link and moving to my new email,
Oh.
and so I'm asking everybody if we were notified, cause I'm not getting a lot of emails,
Okay.
it's become a nightmare.
And it's, your new one is a Gmail,
Gmail
and
now.
yeah, and I don't have that in there yet, so
Okay,
I've gotta add that.
it's supposed to be being forwarded, but I'm no longer seeing anything coming from Prime Link. And I can't even open up Prime Link anymore, so, and I haven't notified everybody, so it's like,
Yeah, I just happened to see your email address on something, and that's.
yeah, I'm trying to put my new one in
Yeah.
as well as,
Mhm.
so,
All right.
okay.
No, I did not send out an email, only because it was just really last minute and I was leaving.
That's fine, that's absolutely fine.
All right, any other discussion on that? All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
All right, motion carries. Presentation of petitions, communications, and general question period for members of the community. Welcome. Would you like to address us in any way? Do you have any ideas or anything you wanna share?
Well, we're happy to hear that maybe we will get a basketball hoop.
Yes, we'll get the basketball hoop and probably the volleyball net.
Pretty
Most likely.
positive on that, yeah.
And that'll be a fairly substantial volleyball net.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it won't be a backyard, you
no,
know,
an outdoor, actually team playing official can lower for women's or men's size.
Speaking of women and men,
Oh yeah.
you mentioned this to me not too long ago.
I think that maybe we should get like a girl to go alongside me because it would be nice to have a second opinion because I don't think like a girl.
Really?
I think like a male. So
He tries really hard to think like a girl since he's in 8th grade, but it's just not working out.
Do you know anybody that you could invite, that you would think would be interested?
I can look into it. I don't really know yet.
Who does your resident council? Yeah, I
Student
mean,
council?
student council, sorry, resident council's my facilities. Student council, sorry, you know what I meant.
well, it would need to be someone who lives in the village, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would appreciate that.
Okay.
Think about it, you know, so you can send me some names or call or stop by, and I think that's a fantastic idea. Yeah. And good for you for thinking of it.
It came from him.
Yeah, no, that's That's wonderful.
He's still looking into the whole magic thing. It's hard because he doesn't have any study halls.
Mm.
And it always seems like it's something, like now it's Model UN, he's in Model UN, and
Yeah,
it's always something.
Yeah.
So it's hard to.
What
you
is
know.
this magic thing? Did you tell us this before?
We had mentioned that
Yeah.
it's a card
Refresh me.
game
Oh,
called
okay.
Magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I guess, similar to Pokemon, not really, maybe a mix between Pokemon and Dungeons and Dragons almost.
Yeah, it's
Is-
like, or other card games.
Are
just-
kids into the Dungeon and Dragons?
I don't, it's kinda,
There's another one out there that's fairly new, so I had a lead, and I haven't checked out yet. There's a guy that I'm related to, that I'm going to convince to come to the library, to do an event, and it's one of these games that the kids are all into, and he's gonna show how to play the game, but I haven't lined it up yet, but I thought that would be a great option, for everybody, either to the library or to the meeting house, whichever, I can get. And if we have to pay him a little bit, I don't care, I'll pay him personally, but it would be nice to have that event and then invite, for kids to come. So the focus is on the kids, and whatever this game is, it's hot, and I'm thinking it's something like Dungeons and Dragons, but not. It's something that's current that a lot of people don't know how to play yet, and so he's like a master of this, and is
it's-
volunteering over in Vermont and teaching it at the library, and it has grown, they've done 3 weeks in a row, and each week it's doubling with the number of people showing, because word of mouth and the kids are coming out and learning how to do it. So I'm hoping to get him over here, I'll give him a good home cooked meal and all that good stuff, so.
I'm trying to think
I'll
of
get
what
up here.
I don't, 'cause I know Magic they have at Medusa in Plattsburgh, they do Friday Night Magic. And the first time I took him to
Let's see
Friday
what's
Night
in
Magic, he was like the only youth there.
Mhm.
It was the most eclectic assortment of human beings. It's like going to social services. It was just like, it was crazy how many different, walks of life, and everybody just played and they just welcomed him. And I was a little hesitant to like leave him there, but the owner's like, all right, come back at 9. I'm like, okay. But, he had a
Did
great
you park out
time.
front with a drink in the car?
Huh?
Did you park out front with a cup of coffee?
I briefly went to JCPenney and then parked out front,
Yes.
but it's right next to a restaurant,
Right.
and it's all glass,
Yeah.
so I felt
Yeah.
confident,
Are some of your friends doing this magic,
yeah.
playing it now?
Mhm.
If you wanna just do a trial run, I definitely could let you use the meeting house, and we could set the tables up and back, and you can just invite the ones you know that are playing now and just see how it goes. Like on a Sunday afternoon, or I don't know, whatever time you have free. I know you're busy, especially with Model UN, that takes a lot of time.
Maybe like a Saturday,
But we could figure it out, you can
Yeah.
talk to,
Richard. Dakota.
Richard McGrath plays, Dakota Brink
Yeah,
plays, so,
it's pretty much like,
um,
like Boy Scouts is really into it. That's
Yeah.
kinda where it started.
Well, get that group together and invite anyone else you want and see how it goes.
yeah, we can ask them and come back next month, and
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
also figure out what date would be best, because Boy Scouts is on Sundays,
Oh,
Cub
okay,
Scouts is on Wednesdays,
okay,
so,
that's busy.
yes,
Well, whatever fits your schedule, we're really flexible.
and everyone else's as well, with sports starting,
Yeah.
spring sports.
Yeah, that's right, those are starting, yeah. All right, cool, great, that's cool.
And then I was curious if, and I know it's still early in the season, but if there was the possibility of doing kayak rentals.
And I have not followed up on that yet because it's still so
Cold.
cold. Cold, and also I wasn't exactly sure who to call of the companies that have the kayaks, because I think that one went out of business right now anyway.
The kayak shack?
Yeah, or another.
Yeah, that's closed.
Yeah, or another portion of them, some other people that owns the rental part of it, so I haven't followed it up on it yet, to answer your question. But I'm still going to follow up on it to see what I can find,
Okay.
so.
That's all we had. So you have homework. Find a girl.
Find a girl.
And some magic. Good homework to have.
Play magic and find a girl.
Yes.
All right, great, thank you. Thanks. It's always nice to see you. I appreciate you taking the
Thank you.
time.
Well, thanks for having us.
Before we go on,
And good evening, everyone. Thank you.
I
Yes,
do.
thank you.
different information
the-
on the
The
quotes.
February 28th meeting we just did, the cost of the first one said 24, 29.51. That was actually before the discount, it's 1822.11. That was a difference, 607.40 we saved.
Can we go back to, I'm confused.
The one for February 28th,
Yep,
the stuff we had to order that day, we had the, down as the amount of 2429.51,
yeah,
but we got 25% off of it, it was 1822.11.
oh, okay.
So that's the difference that we saved by doing it that day, was 607.40.
Oh, wow.
So when we printed it off, it showed that amount, but when we got charged, it was 1822.11.
Oh, okay,
Just to
alright,
clarify it.
yeah,
Cause I don't think you saw it, they emailed it to me, or whatever, I don't know if you saw the amount
Yeah.
difference, so.
Do you need
Yeah.
yeah, so we need to
Motion
change,
to
yeah, we
amend
need a
it,
motion to amend
you
the
make the
minutes.
original motion?
Okay,
Uh,
so make a motion, to amend motion, which was to approve the purchase of signposts, traffic cones, step ladder, electronic measuring wheel, carrying case, safety sign, breakaway for U-channel posts, fuel spout, 500 mil beaker, water hose, and a trailer square jack from Zorro, at a cost of $1,822.11.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Now we will plan it out next month.
Report from the codes enforcement officer, you should all have his report. Did you have any questions or concerns that you want me to share with Mike? He was gone last week at training in Lake Placid, I saw him briefly this morning, but we'll see him later in the week, so. Anything at all?
Is there anything that you can tell us on the building downtown?
The fire, all that I can tell you right now is that, from what I heard, is that they're just getting quotes on removing, on demolishing it,
So tearing down the whole
tearing
thing?
it down, yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Here's my report, good evening. With the snow and the ice finally melting, the trash and the litter that has been blown around has become more visible. I'm sure you've all noticed. I'd ask everyone to take a few minutes to pick up the items on the ground near your homes and dispose of them properly. Also, please remember to put your garbage cans back in their place and away from the sidewalks and streets after the pickup time. According to the village code, all containers should be removed from the curbing before 11 p.m. on the day of collection. Leaving them out is unsightly, and it can be dangerous to drivers and pedestrians. And I've been picking them up and straightening them, so I beg people to please put them away. One of the major concerns right now around the country and around the world is the coronavirus. I would like to reassure village residents that we, the village of Champlain, we are working with the Clinton County Health Department to understand the risks and proper procedures for keeping people safe. I remind you to do the following. I know you've heard this before, but I'm going to remind you again. Wash your hands often. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. Disinfect frequently. Touch surfaces that may harbor germs. Avoid close contact with anyone who is ill. Stay home when you are ill, and contact your primary care provider. I also encourage neighbors to check on those living alone with a phone call to see that they are well. One of my goals this year is to offer more opportunities for outdoor activities. To that end, a group, which actually was formed several years ago, is called Champlain on the Move. We'll be organizing a group of walks of varying distances for different times each week. You can check out our Facebook page of the same name, Champlain on the Move, or the village website to learn more. The focus of these activities will depend on the interest of those involved, so please weigh in with your ideas. In addition, we hope to participate in the Clinton County Health Department's Try 5 Challenge as a community, which involves walking on 5 different trails in the county. Details to follow on these plans soon. I'd also like to, add that I know that the census is starting soon, and it's very, very important that people respond to that, complete that, affects the village and the county and the state, so please do that. And thank you very much. Report from the trustees, Kim?
Okay, so, the only thing I really have is some more information on the dock. I received some drawings from John Trombley, which I can pass around. I was, out of the house today, so actually Tom talked with John, and I'll let him, cause I wasn't privy to the phone call, cause I wasn't home, I'll let him talk about that. We did get some more information from Mike Morgan of the Easy Docks, regarding the, decking material. And this is decking material that they've used, it's a I'm not gonna say this right.
Polypropylene.
Polypropylene, which he went out and looked at one of the docks that they have that's been sitting out in the weather for like 8 or 9 years, and there's nothing wrong with it. There was one bad review, online, and he said, I don't understand, maybe this person, it's not the same material that they had a bad experience with. They said it was very picky, like you wouldn't stick your hands in pink insulation, so why would you walk on this? He goes, I'm thinking that they are maybe talking about a different decking material, he said, because we've never had, he was gonna check into it, but he said, we've never had any bad experiences with this, and it's held up very, very
Okay.
well, so. Our recommendation is that we still go forward with the decking that we were looking at,
Okay.
and
Can I, or can you explain why we had him looking at that though? That was based on the conversation with John.
yes, they were talking about, flaking, so they sent some pictures
Yeah, I said.
of the decking. And this is one that's been sitting outside, and they have not had any issues with it whatsoever, the through flow.
So if I could add, Kim, the reason why I questioned him on the material is because in my conversation with John, I was simply touching base with him to see if he's prepared to quote yet or not. And he said at the very least, we'll need to purchase the decking material. He's not finished working on the rest of it to determine if he's gonna cover the whole cost of that or not, but at the very least, we'd have to purchase that. And then he said, I was looking at aluminum, he said, I don't know if you want it the same as what you purchased for the dock or not, or if you wanna stay with it because of what I found online. That's how this all started.
Oh, he found it.
He found it. He found that bad review.
Oh,
But
okay.
he was looking for the material to purchase for this. And, so I went online, I found, it was a Facebook post is what it was. And I found like, I can't remember, hundreds of likes and this one bad review. And she's the only one that wrote anything, and she really, she claimed that after, she didn't even put a period of time, after being in the weather, it flakes and it becomes picky, it's like walking on fiberglass, the fiberglass material sticks through. So I called Mike Morgan and had a talk with him about his product and told him what I was concerned with. He goes, I don't believe there's any fiberglass in it. So, we went online together, got the spec sheet. It just says it's polypropylene. Does it have any other materials in there with it? For binders, I don't know. That's when he took pictures. He went outside. He goes, I have stuff that's been out here 8.5 years. And he goes, I'm telling you, it looks brand new. You're welcome to come look at it. And he said, I've never had a complaint, so I hate to put all my weight on one review.
Is there anybody locally with us that we can make calls to?
Probably in Vermont.
Okay.
Well, actually, well, this was interesting, one of the good reviews was a woman that went to Canton, but I think she's in Quebec somewhere. A lot of Quebec reviews, so they must sell it in Quebec.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if, I could ask Mike if there's any clips that we could speak with.
I mean, just if we are concerned of that issue, but, I mean, if you've got hundreds that are positive versus one negative, I mean, you're always gonna have a negative review.
Yeah.
There's always someone that's not happy. And maybe she just got defective stuff, I mean, it happens, but what is the warranty on it?
It's a lifetime limited warranty.
Right, so the flaking and painting, that was the one that they don't cover for that.
Right, and see, that's what John was looking at. John was looking at aluminum powder coated decking, so again, how long will the powder coating last? You know, reason that this is supposed to be cooler than the aluminum.
Which is really most important, because people are gonna be barefoot.
Yeah, I mean, John said it's our choice what we wanna put on it, but
Yeah.
he was just putting the flag out there.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And what is his professional thought on it?
well, I forwarded him all this information, I will call him back
Okay,
and
you gotta go
and have a
with the
conversation
experts.
with him. And it's a good idea, I can call Mike back to see if I can get a reference I can speak with,
Yeah,
you know? I mean, it's hard to say, sorry about that, I thought I printed this, I didn't check to see if I was in color or black and white, it probably would've helped us if it was in color. But I mean, you can't blow it up much more than that, so it's hard to see, but,
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
you know, I asked him, I said, did you run your hand across it? He goes, yeah, I said, it's smooth. So I don't understand what they're talking about. He thinks that this is a legacy level of material, and he said it's very possible that, you know, she bought an earlier, they made different versions, and maybe it was an earlier version that caused this problem. He just doesn't understand it. So, if you want, I can see if I can get a reference, somebody that's had
yeah,
it,
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
had it for some period of time.
Yeah, although one bad review out of many, many good ones, there could be a totally unrelated factor there.
Mhm.
that
Oh,
we
I
don't
know.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you can give us a couple that are different timeframes, like someone has had it fairly recently, someone that's had it, 5 years, someone that's had it 10 years, and ask those people if they'd send us a picture, just to compare, you know?
Mhm.
Then we see as it progresses, what it looks like, and of course, what the weather and
Well,
conditions are.
the only, I'm gonna do the devil's advocate thing here.
Mhm.
Some of it might not be outside this time of year. It might be
True.
put away. So you might not be able to get pictures, but you could at least get a review from the
You
person.
get an
Yeah.
opinion of how
Yeah.
they feel about it, I mean,
What are you thinking, Mike?
No, I don't know, is it really expensive? I mean, is it hugely expensive?
it's very comparable to the aluminum actually, it's like dollars more, not hundreds of dollars more.
So, I mean, I don't know what you're talking for the whole dot, I mean, you don't have an idea what the cost might, I
The
mean,
gateway's gonna be about $1,000.
it's treated lumber, what you can spend on treated lumber and it's shot in, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
well, we definitely don't wanna go with that. John was just trying to compare it to the aluminum, I think, he
The only
was
thing-
suggesting the aluminum
And this is
itself.
probably a true color all the way through, so it does get scratched, you're not gonna notice as much. The only thing with powder coat, if somebody drags something metal, it may scratch through,
Right.
and, you're more apt to get cut to sharper. Plastic, if you, it can be, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Well, the reason I was trying to deal with it is if we were to change materials, I think we have a little bit of time, I don't think that, I haven't thought to ask Mike that, am I out of time for changing the decking, cause they do also offer the aluminum decking.
Well, keep in mind too, there are people with ultra sensitive feet. I have a husband. He'll walk on a driveway and it's like he's dying on burning hot coals, right? And then the kids walk across it like it's nothing. So this customer who put the complaint could really truly have that sensitivity. If there's slight scratches in it, you're gonna feel it on the bottom of your feet. Then again, a lot of people do wear their water shoes, I mean, get in a kayak and.
I do.
Definitely.
I always do, so.
I wouldn't,
I don't think you're gonna have very many people barefoot.
You're gonna have some, but, you know.
the majority of people are gonna have something on their feet.
Exactly, so.
Yeah, when people
So
kayak, they
did
wear
the
shoes.
drawings make it around the table?
Yeah.
I just don't want, I wanna keep it all
I only
together.
have the one copy.
So 6 of one, half dozen the other, we just decide what, material we go with. Whatever's the easiest to have the least
So-
delay to make this happen.
Okay, so if I get positive results from the reviews I'm gonna be looking for, go forward with it. If I get negative, bring it back to you.
Absolutely, yeah, I think we
All
should,
right.
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, cause that's what we had voted on before, to go with that,
Yeah,
I know, yeah, we actually
yeah,
chose that over aluminum dip.
correct.
Dot.
You know, if it's a pain in the butt to get these, I'm not that concerned with one pad, frankly, I don't know about the rest of you.
I'm not either.
You know, to put all that time and effort into it, is it even worth it to get that? If you've got, I guess ask John his thoughts,
Mhm.
you know, professionally, what does he think, and then we go with that.
yeah.
I mean, we're not professional on decking materials, we are opinionated, but not professional.
Opinionated?
Not me, these guys are, just want to clear that up.
Oh, okay.
Yes, cause I'm a kayaker from way back.
I'm gonna get you to kayak with me this summer.
Yes, I want to, and I wanna get out in the lawn boat. There's a lot
Yes.
of things I wanna do this summer.
Okay,
Okay,
well, that's
these
good.
rollers, I can do
That's
it.
good. Anything else, Kim?
No, that's it.
Okay.
So we're still moving forward on that. Never did hear a response from, never did hear a response from AARP. I'm gonna guess they haven't kicked us to the curb because they didn't
No,
call
this
or
is good news.
email and
No.
say, hey,
is
you
standard.
didn't,
Have they got
Yeah.
those drawings?
no, because the,
Do they care?
no, and I'm not sending them to them because they haven't even responded to say, oh, thanks, we finally got your update. So I'm not sending it to them. I sent them all of the quotes and everything that we had before, and I didn't even get an email back that said, oh, we received it, so
Maybe they didn't.
it didn't come back as kickback. But again, I've had issues with never getting the first emails from them on
Right.
different things, so,
And there's been so much lately.
so I'm not concerned about it.
I'm not either.
Because I think the health department, their contact at the health department, who keeps changing like the wind,
Yeah, I noticed that.
we're on like the third or fourth one now. I think they would be contacting
Yeah.
us, so.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned.
Nikki?
We held our snow days activities at the library. There was very little attendance, but we did have a few children for story hour. I had one teen, but there were a few that couldn't make it, so I am gonna continue to put out another
Oh, good.
meetup, yeah, so we can work on something there. In game day, I had 7 children and 3 adults.
Oh, good.
And one was an older lady who plays mahjong, and she really wants to show that and teach it to a group. So I have her contact info.
Okay.
We're gonna set
I
that
think
up.
I know who that is.
Judy.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna move forward on that. And then this weekend is Pi Day.
Oh, yes, that's
So,
right.
yes. So we're holding an event at the library at 3:14 on 3:14.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary thought it would be a good touch.
She's so good about that.
So there'll be pies as our dessert or snacks to munch on, coffee and water, and then we'll just have activities to, that goes along with pie, with the number pie. Last year we made rain garland, and each color was a different number, so it was color coded against the number, and she had, I don't know how many hundreds of numbers written out.
Wow.
Not the whole strand, but it was there. And some measuring activities, and I found a card game to do with that too. So that's this weekend. We have Women's History Tea on March 28th from 1 to 3, $10 donation. We have 5 reenactors of women in history, along with snacks and tea. And then April 4th, we're doing photos with the Easter Bunny.
Did you
Later in the
schedule
day.
that at 3 or 4?
2:30 to 4.
Okay.
Is your art 1 to 3?
1 to 3.
Yeah, so we
That
did it
should
a
be
little
fine.
later. Yeah, we just actually voted on that the other day. And my next cooking class I'm planning for May, don't have a date yet.
Okay.
That'll be the next one for that. We had talked about doing an art show for kids. I know you had that on the list. All I have to do is, email the art teachers and kind of put it out there,
Okay.
and we'll
Okay.
set something up, so
Okay.
we can meet up with them and do something there. And let's see. Oh, my son is going to hold a sport swap for his National Honor Society, project, and that is where people can bring in their old sports equipment, shoes, bats, gloves, or whatever needed for any local sports, and if there's someone who needs something in return, you can come and pick out what they need, so it's just a swap thing, no
Mhm.
money exchange, but just to, I have tons of cleats and shin guards at home, so I'm welcome to hand them out, and
Mhm.
I'm sure other people are the same, so.
I found a trunk full this weekend in the basement, I'm like, really, what is this
Perfect,
stuff?
yeah.
Gotta go.
So, and I know there's always someone looking for
Yeah.
stuff, so
Mhm.
if we hold
Trunk
up
full. Okay, cool.
Good. Yeah.
couple hours, I'll get that date and time out soon, it'll be mid-April.
Yeah, all right.
Skates, ski boots, all that.
Skates.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
anything and everything for sports,
Mhm.
campsite,
That's awesome.
so that's what I have.
Great, thanks. Tom?
Yeah, and while we're on the kayak launch, I gave you the Gangway update, so basically the design is done. He needs an answer from us, not urgent, but which material we're gonna go with for the decking on the gangway, which I'm sure we all wanna keep the same as the dock, which I think it should be the same. He, as in John, has reservations as far as what we're gonna do in regards, and it's up to us, don't get me wrong. Again, raising our flag, wants to make sure that we design the foundation to hold this thing in place, this cement foundation we're gonna build properly, and he's recommending if we can find some engineering help to make sure that it's done properly. Just a recommendation, so
Okay.
it's totally up to us, cause I don't wanna drive the cost of this thing up any further than we need to. So, I don't know, do we know anybody locally that has that ability?
And do we really need it?
I don't know.
I'm not an engineer.
That's his point, not the structural engineer anyways, is his point, but
Would Matt give us a free suggestion based on his performance from the first one? Let's,
Maybe. Maybe, it's worth a call.
yeah.
just basically somebody to do the math properly for whatever tension this thing is gonna be receiving in that waterway, to make sure that this cement is big enough to hold it in place. I think that's John's thought,
No, rightfully so.
rightfully so, yeah.
Are you talking about Matt?
If I was,
Mhm.
yeah,
That's too bad you're on.
I know,
phone with
just on
them
the
today.
phone with him in regards to something for
I
the
mean, it's
water
worth an
board.
ask, cause I always say you got 100% of a no if you don't ask.
Yeah, no, it's
Mhm.
definitely worth an ask.
50-50 for something so minimal, maybe
Yeah.
he can just give that suggestion
Yeah,
without.
You may have to have somebody come in and do it, cause it
He
may
owes
be
us.
along tailed in
Put it
huge
that way.
forms and stuff we don't have. You know what I mean? You
maybe.
need forms, almost like wall forms.
Maybe,
You have to dig out and put
maybe,
rebar.
I guess it depends on how big it gets.
We can excavate it, but if it comes to that, you almost need somebody that does concrete to put forms in, you know what I mean? It's not something you're gonna build plywood forms, you gotta have the right stuff, you don't put a lot of money in this, you wanna make sure the basis, foundation is good.
And maybe others who have done it have the forms that we can borrow, right? They've had the expense already, used it, well, you're not gonna throw them
Depends
away.
who you know,
right.
I can't answer that. Cause it's their livelihood too, so maybe if you can find somebody and maybe, I don't know. I can't answer.
Who else got the AARP grant locally? Was there anybody?
I don't think so.
I don't know. It was across the states.
Okay. I know Cranberry Lake put in one, but not to this extent, but I don't know about any poor. I can check into that though.
Yeah, I have a list of,
I could ask Mike when I call him in regards to references, what they do in regards to this.
Yeah.
'cause I was hoping not to blow it to a point where we have to hire an engineering firm and a contractor to come in and install and everything, and
I don't know if you need an engineering firm, but even some of these marinas that have docks, they may be able to help you in how they do it. You know,
I understand John's concern, but I'm hoping it's overkill. We'll see what
Yeah,
I get for
that's
answers.
what I'm hoping to. Well, Tom, maybe, you and I can call Matt later in the week.
Okay, so I guess that finishes my report as far as the kayak launch, modern mechanical, you know, at the least, very least, we're gonna pay for the decking. I'll finish up the concerns with materials on the decking. And as for the water board, we met again, we're meeting tomorrow. We are at determining what metrics need to be included in regards to O&M. That's our biggest issue.
Yeah.
What specifics should be included, because you don't wanna just, it's not the whole ball of wax.
No, it's not.
It's not meant to be.
Mm-mm.
So, that's where we're at,
Okay,
and I'll, once we go through that
yeah, okay.
that exercise and actually have a definition, then I'll report what it is, and we'll go from there.
Okay,
That's all.
is that it? Amy?
So follow up on the Stewart's grant, when I submitted the, grant, for some reason our budget did not upload, it was there, but they weren't able to open it. Luckily, by some freak of nature, I happened to go into email on that Sunday, which was the last possible day to resubmit it. So I sent it via email to them in an upload. So, hopefully everything will move forward. I didn't hear any obstacles to
Okay.
it, from that point. Piggyback on your census, the library has 2 new computers so that people can go there if they need to fill out their census. And there's been adult chairs added to the library, which is lovely. Actually a comfortable place to sit, with, as we said, the 2 new, computers there, which will be helpful to anyone who does not have, a computer or internet service for it. To piggyback on the corona, obviously this is, a significant situation. If you have loved ones in nursing homes, they are asking that you place phone calls first before you go. Several are in lockdown already. Not that there's corona, there's no corona in any of our counties, Clinton, Essex, or Franklin counties right now. However, protocol is going into place to minimize the effects of not only the coronavirus, but the flu, that it is widespread within our facilities. People are gonna be asked questions now when they enter. There's one entrance only in and out of most of my facilities. And you are questioned as if you have been around anyone that's sick, if you are sniffling, and even some of my facilities are taking your temperature. Which is great, it's protocol that should be in place, for the flu season period. We have had the flu in almost every facility, as well as the other lovely intestinal virus. So, protocols are in place. When in doubt, don't go out, period. And CDC, as well as New York State, is recommending 60 and over not to go to any kind of group settings, especially if you have any compromised health issues. 60 and over, just don't do it. No one knows for now, and as these cases are expanding, it is significant. Everyone's on board. I mean, there's calls nonstop about this, obviously. You're seeing it on the news. But any facilities, hospital, doctor's offices, even in doctor's offices now, you're gonna see as of today, they're all asking, have you been around anyone ill? How are you feeling today? And, before they move forward. So it's really important, because we don't know, you can be carrying it and you don't even know it for several days. So just be really mindful of that, and if you have a loved one that's compromised, you yourself should not be going out to bring things back home. It's significant. I did write the gardening grant. We did it in for 3 garden types as discussed. And that answer is supposed to come mid-April, so hopefully we get that too, would be really nice. And then there's another one for the obstacle course that I will be pursuing. I have not done that yet, but I think I got a couple more weeks on that still,
Okay.
so we're good. Hopefully goal was to work on that this weekend. And I think that's it for me. If there's any other new ones you've come across, let me know.
Yeah, I'll talk to you at the end of the meeting, I'll give you a couple of other,
Okay, great.
other websites.
Yeah, that helps. If you can point them out to me, it saves hundreds of hours.
Yeah, oh, I
But I
understand.
understand you not having that, and I do, at least once a week, I just Google, new grants that are up
Mhm, yeah,
and spend a
okay.
couple hours looking, but it is extremely time consuming.
It is.
But all these little ones add up, and if we can get some things for the kids, and like I was telling him, I think it's Dragons and Dungeons, but I guess it's very, very hot. And so he'd come in for any age group, but my focus was really for the teenagers,
Mhm.
whether it be at the meeting house, the library, or even
Mhm.
splitting it between the two
Sure.
places, whatever. Just to get them out and, showing the strategies and the playing
Mhm.
and whatnot. So I just found out about that yesterday, so I haven't called.
Yeah, well,
Nephew
that
yet
sounds
to
good.
Put the good Catholic guilt to him that he should come over and help. So that would be fun if we can get that, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, well, that's great.
If we move forward with that.
All right, great, thanks, Amy. Thank you, everyone. Report from the clerk treasurer.
Everyone has their expense and revenue reports for February.
You wanna start with these transfers?
Yeah, we have
Because
to,
they're
yeah,
first
before we
next
do,
to the
yeah,
agenda.
we have to do them in order to do the warrant. We have to transfer $4,325, it's for our new server upgrades and for the camera system. From A 5110.4, $4,325 to A 1620.2, $4,325.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky. Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor.
Mayor.
Aye.
McFetrich.
Mayor.
And
It's
the-
Mick.
Say Mac.
Someday.
Just say mayor.
Yeah, we can do that, that works.
Say Mayor Janet.
Mayor M.
And there's another transfer?
And then we have another transfer, for laptop for our codes officer, and the program from A 8010.11, $310 to A 8010.2.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Tom seconded? Okay. Discussion? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. All right.
And now we have additional invoices for the warrant.
Yep.
The additional invoices are 2,076.01 for a total warrant of 28,273.62.
Make a motion to accept the warrant with the additions.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, you don't have this one. I think it's in the box. Was there a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion, questions? Don?
We all have a good-
This is a long pause. See if you can look it over.
No, I got it marked, I just gotta find my marking.
Okay.
Nothing major. We're looking good, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This is weird, it's only $12.50, but can you just tell me what this all stands for? The Sam's Club, it's a credit card, I get that, for the FMCSA Clearinghouse Query Fund.
That's because
Apply
we're
for the lottery?
drug and alcohol, yeah. everybody's in the drug pool now for, CDL license. The clearinghouse, that's what that was for.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's-
So
we have to-
everybody
we have to
Has
set
to
up
register
forms.
with the state now.
Nice.
That's across the board.
So
That's
did
what
they
that's
pull
for.
someone for testing?
No,
No,
that's,
we have to set up a fund so that each time we do a query on them, it comes out of that fund,
Gotcha,
and
thank
that's
you.
what that is.
You're required to do queries on the background.
An annual, we have to do once annually, and if we had a new hire, we'd have to do it, and if anything, we were alerted that anything came up on their history, we would be doing a full inquiry, and that's where the money comes out of that fund. It's $1.25.
We're still in the-
It's
Did
$1.25
did you have
per
them sign
query.
anything so they're all
Okay.
aware of that?
Yes.
yeah, they all had to sign up.
Okay. Yeah, we did too, so that's why I was questioning it.
We didn't win the Publishers Clearinghouse.
That's what I was gonna
I was like, that's what I said, well, this is
Oh, when
really
you said the same to
weird
me, she
code.
said, what'd you spend? What is
What'd you
this
spend
for?
$12.50 I
That's
know.
not even mine. That was Mary.
Great minds think alike. Yeah,
I was trying to think,
What is
I didn't,
that was all, I mean, but we look good, look at, you know. it's-
Yeah. Yep.
I believe that was the only silly little, but
Good to know.
didn't know it, so.
Anything else? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky. Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Hi.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. Report from the superintendent?
well, the weather slowed down here, it's been getting a little nicer, so, it's helped us slow down on the streets a little bit. We've been, mostly getting small equipment ready, we're trying to get ready for spring. Had one call for a water leak on Main Street. We had a residence that, somebody went in to check the residence and the line was froze, must be all winter and thawed out, was leaking. We were able to go in and put a shut-off valve on it live, and we did go back and, find the outside shut-off, shut it off, so it is now off.
Did you lose a lot of water, Mike?
I don't know, happened
Nothing
before,
yet.
before the meter.
Okay.
The line, I mean, there was a lot of water, there's icicles hanging out the side of the building, so I don't know how long it ran, but it was on for a while, for sure. Long enough that all the ceiling tiles are off the ceiling,
So
so.
I'm assuming it wasn't a large enough loss to really flag your readings and stuff.
No,
with the
because it's
water
constant,
pan?
it was a constant, yeah.
It probably started after we did our last month's.
You won't know, there's no,
That's
it
right,
happened
it
before the
didn't
meter.
go
you-
through the meter.
So the only way I'd be able to tell is at the plant.
That's what I was
And-
referring to. the
Yeah,
plan.
it wasn't a huge spike like a main break, so it's constant over a long period, so you wouldn't notice it as much. So that's been shut off at the street now. We've had, I think, 5 sewer calls this month, people's sewer backed up. None of them ended up being our issues, they were all, customers' issues, I think. With the frost or the warm weather, the frost was pushing down and, around the sewer lines. But as of right now, I think, all of them are, 2 of them got opened up today, I think all of them are back up and going right now. We did a little jetting, for some sewer lines, but, culverts too, we had a few frozen culverts, Prospect, South Street, we got those open. We are gonna have to get some more coal patch, we used over a ton of coal patching holes, we patched 3-4 days, but
Crevices?
yeah, there's some bad ones.
They're everywhere.
We did, the new stop signs that came in, we did swap those out, those have been swapped out.
They look nice.
I've been having trouble with the blowers, actually I was on the phone today reprogramming the VFDs. Hopefully we're getting closer here, it's a cycling issue, I think it's all in programming. So we're still working on that. They're set to run so many days and swap, they're not swapping, so it's giving us alarms. So we mainly have to turn them on and off. So we're working on that, but other than that, most of it's been, getting maintenance stuff, getting equipment ready, and then whatever else we need to do to fill in uniform rings, whatever it is, we head that direction, but the weather at least has, been on our side here for the last little while, and, we haven't had to use the backhoe here in a little bit either, so I don't wanna say too much.
Don't say too much.
Since,
Good way to put it.
since our birthday, Tom.
You didn't actually
Been
say
since our
it.
birthday,
Since your
Okay.
birthday.
so it's been a while, luckily. It's not if, it's when. There's been a few around too, I mean, with the frost, we've been lucky.
How deep is the frost?
I don't know, it's not near, it's not as deep as, it's not as deep as it was last year.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because usually we have a few water lines that freeze. When they do, I have one residence in particular, usually the first one to freeze. When it does, we get it thawed and then we let the water trickle, and last year was February 8th, and this year I didn't have to let it run. So it's not as deep as it usually is.
We didn't get the really bitter and we have a lot of cover.
No, but, well, yeah, but our cover really didn't come till, we got a good shot in February or 13th, whatever, but early on, we didn't really have a lot of snow. I mean, but if you're comparing it to last year, I mean, the ice just stayed for,
Oh, yeah.
couldn't get rid of it.
Yep.
So this year it seemed to be, you'd get it cleaned up, the roads would be perfect, and then that night or the next day it was gonna snow. It's a cycle. But at least you were able to get back to the asphalt, But the potholes are
Now they're dusty.
an issue, yeah. Potholes are, this weekend I went for a ride, and, whew, our roads are pretty good shape compared to some places.
Very good shape
And,
compared
Yeah.
and
to most places.
some places is brand new asphalt, and I can't
I
believe.
know.
We've got some frosties right now, 2 depressions in some of our new roads too, I'm hoping this comes back here with the frost.
Some
I
of our
mean,
newly
it's early.
repaved streets you're talking about?
Yeah, some of the ones we repaved have some spots that have,
Okay, I haven't been on those.
yeah, with some sags, and I'm hoping they come back.
Probably should, if you don't mind, flag that one in Butternut. That's deep enough, that can do some damage.
Yeah, we'll actually I should probably put a barrel both sides of the lake on it. That one, it does come back, doesn't come back all the way though.
No, we'll have to talk about that more in detail once you start talking roads, but we really need to fix those.
Yeah,
When I was going around getting signatures, Butternut was brought up by every resident I talked to.
we got a lot,
And
South
Maple.
Street,
Yeah.
Maple, Prospect's getting,
Yeah.
starting to head that way. There are some big streets.
Prospect needs attention before it gets too bad.
The trouble is, a lot of heavy traffic too, you've got ruts, so any water stays in the lane instead of,
I know,
you got drainage to do
I
before.
know,
we
I
can-
think that's, in my opinion, one that we need to look at for repaving.
Prospect.
Yeah, cause it's starting to break up and it's
Once you
gonna
break the
go
base,
fast.
yep.
It's gonna go fast, it's gonna get real bad.
Oak is not the best shape either.
No, I know, but Oak has a lot less traffic,
Well,
you know,
golly,
it's not a thoroughfare.
yeah.
No.
Even Church Street there, they're stuck in tractor trailers.
Oh, yeah, so much traffic.
Stopped one the other day, but he was going to the church delivery, so. He kinda gave it back to me. I said, hey, what are you doing? You can't. I said, where are your deliveries? He says, a church. Oh, okay. Then he gives me, well, you come help me, we gotta load tables. Go ahead, you're all set.
But there are trucks under
Just,
that should
but there's been quite a few, and most of them aren't probably from around here, I can tell, but a lot of times they say their GPS takes them, they're going to the West Service Road, so I said, either take the interstate or come down 9, because I said, the police sit down here and try to, but I look at my GPS is taking me this way, and they probably do, I don't know, but they may not have a separate truck route.
Ask him if he would go through a low bridge if his GPS told him to.
Yeah,
God.
well, I don't, English wasn't too good, so
Yeah.
maybe they didn't understand me, I don't know.
Should have had me come down.
No, you wouldn't help. I don't think. Anyway, that's all I have. Oh no, it's not all I have.
No, I know,
I
I
got
was
some
watching.
purchases.
Got a file here, but-
Yeah, I forgot, I had this stack underneath. Sorry, Amy. The first one is, for our trackless. Nose cone and plow shoes. We put some on last year. No, for this season. This season, we did it over this late fall. We put a set of blades on it. This fall, I mean, the rest of it was done over the summer, but we put 2 new shoes It takes 3, we'll put 2 new shoes, a nose cone, and new cutting edges in their shop, 1 season.
Wow.
Cause the sidewalks stink.
Well, no, it's, I don't know.
They're all uneven and they hit everything and it's gonna.
They're wore, they're not, they're broke, they're wore. We only took an inch off, so I got a hold of the place we got our trackless from and said, what's, why? That seems typical. Well, we don't have 50 miles of sidewalks. He says, to me, it's not typical. So what happens, the blades wear, as the blades wear, obviously the shoes and the nose cone wears, the nose cone gets too far. Last time, we were so far, we ground the head of the bolt off, I had to take the plow apart and had to use, I was able to get it out, but I had to extract the bolt. It was drill it and try to get it out. I was able to, but what I'd like to do, either way, we're gonna need 2, I've got 1 brand new one here, we're gonna need 2 shoes and a nose piece for that machine. I did get 2 quotes, they're back to back. You'll see one on the back side for $562.72. And the front side is,
Roughly $4.95 if the shipping's 40.
yeah, the shipping, actually, they're 100 miles closer, so I don't know if it'd be much over what the first guy is, but he didn't put shipping on there, so I put 30 to 40 bucks. So I mean, I don't know how you wanna do it, even if you wanna do it up to 500, it's still 60 bucks less than the other guy, and they're covered. Whatever the shipping cost is, that's what it'll be.
Is it
I
the same
would-
price?
What's that?
Is it the same price? $4.55?
No, this
Well,
guy's
no, no, no.
562,
No, the front, is it,
that's without freight,
correct, so why can't you do $4.55 plus freight?
that's fine,
I mean,
if you
I
need a
mean, I
number,
just,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Do we
fine.
need a number though?
If you
No.
don't, that's
Specific
fine,
number.
I was gonna say if not, do up to 500, and that's gonna cover the freight, however you guys wanna do it,
whatever.
whatever makes it legal.
If that covers it, that's fine with me.
What, the 500?
No, the $4.55
Plus
plus
freight.
freight.
Plus
if that-
freight.
if that-
Plus freight not to exceed a total of $562.72, which is the other quote.
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it,
I like that.
yeah.
So
Is that,
moved.
is that
That's an
a, is that a
emotion.
motion, Amy?
It was a motion. Eloquently put.
Very, very, and the second
I'll
came from
I'll second.
Tom, thank you. Any other
Good job.
discussion on that? Roll call.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky. Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Right.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
So the other portion of that is you need a new set of cutting edges for that machine. So we bought a set, we put them on in November, well, that was the last slip, November 13th. For the cutting edges with shipping was $339.87. We still need bolts. On the other side of that, I've got another supplier, the fellow that sold us the carbide for our pickup plow. It's only $35.13 more for us to get carbide.
And they're the better ones.
They'll last, and so if we don't wear that edge down, the shoes are gonna stay and the nose cone's gonna stay, because it's gonna take so much longer to wear the carbide, they won't wear as quick.
Sounds like a plan.
So,
Agreed.
this one here, I told him if we did it, we shouldn't need them right off, so if we don't need them right off, he said, I put in 50 bucks for shipping, if they have to ship, if we have to have them, for some reason, if these break and we have to have them, we get snow. But I'm gonna put them on a regular order, he won't charge me any freight, he'll deliver them here, cause he'll put them on his regular order. So, I don't know if you wanna do up to $450, but the cost of them is of the blades is $375, and then obviously the bolts, which weren't on the other quote. So I don't know how you wanna, I'd say up to $450 for a set of carbide blades for the trackless sidewalk machine.
But only if they charge shipping.
Yeah, I say
So it's gonna be
up to the amount.
400 without.
Right, I would say if something happens and ours break and we have to put them on, then we won't have a choice. But if he can put them on a regular order,
So,
then I'm gonna try to get him with no shipping. I'm gonna try to hold off.
I make a motion to go with Northern Supply in the amount of up to $450 for the carbide blades.
Is there a second? Second. Discussion?
This fella, he used to work, he brought the first tractors to the States. The guy that owns this, runs this, back in 70 something. But he's gonna make the blades he's gonna make these blades for us, he's never did them before, he came and measured ours, they had a template of brand new one, so.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
The next thing is a, pole saw for our, interchangeable, pole saw, trimmer,
Power pruner, is that what you're
Yeah,
looking at?
power
For
pruner.
gardens?
yes. So that's one price, and if you flip it over, I've got multiple others.
Okay.
Okay,
And so I make a motion to purchase the power pruner from Dragoons for $189.
second please.
Second.
Thank you. Other discussion? Questions for Mike?
And we've not had a power pruner before, didn't we buy one recently?
Yes, and the aluminum shaft, it's from our Husqvarna from way back. Our aluminum shaft is bent, and to replace the shaft itself, it's gonna cost you almost as much as this one, and the Echo ones are 5-year warranty.
Okay.
So it's gonna be $100 and some bucks just to change the aluminum shaft. You said you're way further ahead to to replace the whole thing, cause not everything's worn out, we've had it since I've been here, all the pole pruner for our Husky, it's been here since before I started, so, I don't know how many years,
Okay.
I've been here 7.
Is that just the attachment that's bad?
The aluminum pole
Extender pole.
with the saw attachment.
Mhm.
The aluminum pole, sometimes you get pieces that come down and sometimes you get a piece that hits it, but it's been bent and straightened so many times that it's binding inside, so it's happening. We keep trying to straighten it to get it, it's hard to get it true.
So is the whole unit gone, or is
Just the pole,
just the pole attachment,
just,
right?
this
That's
is
what I
just for the
thought.
pole attachment. We're still using that machine for our paddles, for a trimmer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes,
Okay.
it's interchangeable.
Roll call.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
The next one is for Hawk. This is for
Trustee.
testing supplies for water. The bottom one is for sewer plant probe for our pH meter. And this here, I did look up prices as far as others. These are the least expensive. Some of this we can only get from here, it's a sole supplier from Hawk, like the probe for our pH meter, they're the only ones that's the style meter we have, so. And these supplies here should last us the year. Usually this time every year we buy, like our pillow packs is what we use daily to test our chlorine. So the supplies we have on here for our water for this next year, will last us for the year. The buffers won't, obviously, they go out, but all the other stuff, the DPDs, the free chlorine reagent set, that stuff there, phosphorus reagent pillow packs, that'll be enough to last us the year for the water plant. If this gets approved today, I order it tonight before I go home. Right now, with $1,000 orders, free shipping, so we'll save this $73.94.
Make a motion to approve the purchase of 1187.58 to Hawk.
Is there a second?
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Garrett.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
And that's all I have for spending for tonight.
Not really, but,
Well, not really,
He said for tonight.
for tonight.
well, no,
Well,
we
we've got some major
all
ones
that-
coming
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
massive
Oh.
fire stuff.
I got a
Yeah.
call back
I don't think he
too,
was referring to
he's
that.
gonna send me another quote, but he's gonna hold that price from 2 years ago.
For the generator.
And
Great.
electrical,
Oh.
he'll hold both of them.
Oh, good.
Cause I told him, and I still have to waiting for another quote, but he said, I know you guys had talked about it, you came back to me,
Yeah,
he got a hold of them, and I don't think that it went up very
Okay.
much. He said, I'll hold, that quote they gave you would be the
Okay.
same as it was 2018.
oh, good.
So,
Good.
and he's gonna send me a new one, so we have
Okay.
it.
All right, perfect. Great.
I've got one
Moving
question
on
for
that.
Mike.
Sure.
The water plant, are we ready to schedule something, so
Tell me
board
when.
can see that? Alright, tomorrow we have a meeting, so I'll find out what dates they want.
Yeah, just let me know, and that's fine.
Okay.
I'll make sure it's
Sorry
washed
about
up, floor's
No,
dry.
that's fine.
But yeah, no, they had cleaned there last week, but and we just got our ladder in Friday night, so. We will be changing tubing, but also just let me know what date they wanna do it, and, that's fine.
Can you include us all in to that? And,
Sure,
You know, just, so I
sure,
know,
it's a good idea.
if available.
Yeah,
I-
absolutely.
I've only seen the old one.
Oh, this
Well, when we get
is,
done
this
tonight,
is
we'll go right
really,
down.
this is really impressive.
Yeah, it's probably,
Yeah,
I haven't.
Yeah.
probably during the day.
it's really something.
Yeah, but if I have enough notice, I
Okay. You can
can
schedule
adjust
that.
schedules.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
especially if it's crack first thing, or end of day. Sometimes it's flexible.
Whenever's good.
okay, are we all set? Correspondence?
Correspondence from Codes Officer Tatro to Francis Tate, correspondence from Codes Officer Tatro to Neil Coulomb, and the JCEO monthly report.
Okay,
And have we heard any, does anybody know, have we heard anything back on the mobile home? 'Cause this has
No.
been a
not to
few.
my knowledge, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, new business. The first item is the fire alarm system. You all got the two quotes
Yeah.
from Johnson and Impact Fire.
What was the last time we had a, inspection?
Prior to the one we just had, you mean? Maybe,
And aren't they like required annually?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's no record of one in like the past couple of decades, I don't think.
Really long time. My paper mentioned something.
Yeah. So, I mean, the prime, I guess the first point of discussion is whether we want to go with a new panel or not, because you've got a price
Yes.
with no panel and a price with new panel. And this, what we have is very, very, very old, I don't know, 1970s or something, I don't know.
No, new.
So, I mean, my feeling is it should be new, but I want the board to weigh in on that.
And I'm cheap, so you should listen to me now.
Well, I'm pretty cheap too, but when it comes to fire protection, I would.
Well,
really-
right, I mean, we have all this stuff and, you know, cause she's on a new panel where
I
it
don't
really is a source of a lot of fires and issues.
Yeah, no, I don't think we should, I think we need a new panel also, but I don't know how the rest of.
So that's what you're
No,
talking for that
I agree with that
$67.60.
as well.
It's $3,000 difference?
Yeah, well, let's see, impact with the panel is $67.60, and Johnson is $58.66, if I wrote those correctly.
Yeah.
Those are the two with panel.
Okay,
Is anyone else smelling smoke? Oh, it's really causing my head to pound.
Smoke like regular,
No,
like,
cigarette smoke or cigar smoke. Okay, just sorry.
no, and I'm usually really
I
sensitive
guess
to that.
spending money, I thought it was you, cause I
No.
was spending money.
Yeah, it's definitely,
I don't know where that was coming from though.
I'm just hypersensitive to it.
Yeah.
Just curious. Sorry.
Does everyone agree that we have to go with the new panel?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we should go to the panel,
Okay.
definitely.
We
Well-
okay to do so? And where will it come from?
Juanita, can you answer that? I know you gave me a number before of where this would come out of. Was it security? Or did you say that? I might
no,
actually-
we can,
I might actually have that note
Oh,
that
what
you
I
gave
told
me
you?
before. You want me to try to find that? Oh. Fire alarm system, you wrote down, oh no, building shared services, but we would need a transfer.
yes, we could transfer.
So it was A 1620.2 that she mentioned, building shared services security, but we would need a transfer.
Yeah, and we could transfer at a 5110.4, because we used CHIPS money this year for paving and we had $40,000 in there. So we could transfer out of there into here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Out of where?
Chips?
5110.4, the paving, our subcode,
Wait till you do prospect, if you wish
Yeah,
you're taking all the money.
Yeah, well,
No.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm
right.
thinking.
That's why.
No, that has nothing, Prospect Street has nothing to do with this year's budget.
No, but if, once you're running money for paving, no matter what streets you're doing, you still gotta put
No,
money in.
no,
Okay.
At the end of the year,
That's right.
come May 31st, the money that is in that line item that we do not use is going to be rolled over into fund balance.
Right,
Gotcha.
but
So we can transfer,
at the end of the year, wouldn't we have an opportunity to put that money from that line
No,
item
we'll-
into a restricted fund?
we still
Specifically
have
for roads.
some money to put away in there.
You still have your fund balance that we can take a portion of
Correct.
that to put
Okay.
into paving. We aren't gonna be doing any paving before the end of this year,
Right,
so whatever funding we
Okay.
have
And
regardless.
we still
gotta come
have
out
not
of this
received our
account
CHIPS
somewhere.
fund yet, which should be coming, reimbursement should be coming this month.
Okay.
So do we have any CHIPS money left? Or have we used it all?
No, we did not use it all.
Okay. So what do we have for a balance of CHIPS funds?
Not off the top of my head, maybe 80.
yeah, that's about right.
89 probably.
And we haven't gotten anything as to what we'll get for CHIPS funding for this year, right?
No.
Cause it's gonna take every bit to do that street, plus.
And we do have some money put away, what is it, 60,000?
Yeah, I think so,
Yeah,
Put away already.
in a restricted, yeah.
yeah.
Correct.
66.
So that's someplace that could come from, back to the fire alarm.
Okay.
Really, do we have to go back?
Yeah, we're going back to the fire alarm,
My head really is pounding.
and I'm trying to move it along.
Plus, we didn't use all the money out of a temporary,
That's true too.
employee this year.
Because we hired another employee,
Mhm.
we used it there.
Okay, we're going back to the fire alarm. So, do you have a question, Tom?
I have a question, but do you wanna wait till it's on the
Is it
motion on the
about
table?
the,
Yeah,
no,
it's
we
about
don't
this.
even have a motion on the table.
Okay, I know.
No, I'm trying to get to
Mike,
the
can
motion
you-
on the table.
Do you have a feeling as to why it's $3,000 for the panel itself?
I wasn't involved
Is
in
it
any of
labor
it. They came
or-
in, I have no idea. They came in, did their thing, and then, I don't know.
I'm just curious, why
Yeah,
is
they-
so much for the panel?
Well, their labor charges are 208 alone per hour
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's the labor to do that, more than,
No idea.
for this one. What is it? It doesn't say on the other one what
Do
the
you,
labor
do you
is.
want a motion before we go into any further discussion?
Yeah,
that's what I was asking.
okay. You wanna make that, Kim?
Sure, I'll make a motion that we go with Impact Fire Services, with the panel for a quote of $6,760.
Wait, I thought the
No,
Johnson
they're
was
more money.
58.66.
Johnson
Oh,
Controls
I thought we
Johnson.
were-
Yeah,
Okay, wait a minute.
Deny.
Redo your.
Johnson's is
redo your motion.
58.66.
Okay, wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong one.
There's a Johnson
Okay.
Control for 58.66.
Yeah.
I had like 4 different
Yeah,
impact ones.
sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
That was in mine. I didn't have any.
No wonder I'm all messed up over here. Okay, so I make a motion that we go with the quote of $5,866 for Johnson Controls.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, so now the discussion. Why, they came in, each company came in, they did their own assessment and they sent these quotes. So,
Well, they're both.
they're reputable firms, I think.
How do I wanna say that, the ratio between with or without is roughly in the same ballpark, so
Yeah,
obviously there's a
3,000.
reason. I was just curious if Mike had talked to him or anybody as to why, you know.
No,
I didn't know.
Maybe we could,
We could ask that question.
yeah,
Let's ask.
Yeah.
We approve up to this amount, but why is the panel so much? What part of it is labor versus the material? Cause it's not that breakdown for it.
okay, you made the motion.
I'm seconding.
Oh, okay.
So just get a little more detail. I mean, we approve the amount, but let's get some answers here because they don't really break it down.
No.
Or Impact Fire or Johnson Control?
Just
For
Johnson,
Johnson
just
Control, just
Just
Johnson. Cause it's exactly $3,000, I think, for both, little give or take.
It's only $800 between those two.
yeah, it's either $49.96 or almost 5,000, and then 5866 for Johnson. The price difference is only about 800. Wait,
Where I'm just talking
Yeah, but she's
about
talking
the
without the
panel
panel.
piece only is almost identical for both firms of $3,000 difference.
Yeah, comparing the with and without.
Right.
The quotes that are with the panel and without the panel, that's what I was picking up on.
Cause it was
It's like,
3,600 for the other company, and then it jumped to 67, so $1,100 difference. For Johnson, the,
what,
Wait,
Maybe if she's
wait.
talking here,
the
here.
difference was,
3,000, she's saying.
$49.96.
Two
we're
thousand,
not going
actually,
She wants-
38,
She wants to know
2,000, not
why.
3,000.
She wants to know
It's
why.
only 2,000 for Johnson,
Well, this only went up.
cause there
The cost
was
of the panel.
38.78
John-
without the panel, and then 58.66 with.
It's 2,000.
Wait,
So
did you add the,
2,000.
There's less
wait,
of
the
a difference
wiring
here.
is added in, right, Mary? Don't we have to add the wiring to it? or
Which
no?
The
is,
5866 includes the wiring.
Yes,
The
Yeah.
without is, the 387869 plus the 1118.
you have to add the two
Oh,
together.
you have to
Oh.
add those
It's
together.
$49.96
Oh, I didn't know that.
for the wiring
Okay.
and the
Plus
different
11.
parts. It's $49.96.
So go to the one that has two pages,
Gotcha.
Amy, the second page has the,
96.
So that's almost 5,000. So with the panel, it's another 866
Okay.
approximately.
Oh,
That
that's what
changes
you're
everything.
talking- Oh, yeah.
That
That's why I'm
changes everything.
thinking, if I'm gonna call, I need to understand what you were asking. and I-
Well, we're
Okay,
not- we're
but
not
then the
understanding
question
the
is, then all their other stuff costs more, so what if we have one company do the paneling and one do the other stuff?
I'm not for that at all.
No.
You can't do that.
Right, but look at, one is
Your
charging
quote's gonna
3,000
change.
and one is charging 800.
Your quote will change when you get it.
Okay, so now explaining that to me, I'd like to see the breakdown and the difference of the pricing,
Wait, you
frankly.
wanna see the breakdown of the different parts, the different material, to see
no,
what they cost?
Because it's a huge difference. If we're going with Johnson, they're charging a lot more for all of the product, with the panel being only 800. These guys, their product is less and the panel is the 3,000. You see what I'm saying?
Are we looking at apples to apples? So those, I see what you're saying, so
Yeah.
when you look at Impact Fire, and you look at their quote without the panel, it's
36.25.
36.25. And this quote has only the panel added to it, and it jumps to 67.60.
49.96 without the panel.
Well, no, you're back on Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this one first, so this one's got,
36.25 without the panel. Am I correct?
And
Yeah.
67.60 with.
And, right, so if I'm looking at 36.25 for the one company versus 49.96 with Johnson Control, so they're $1,300 more for their parts, yet they're less for their panel.
Because they want to sell it all together. They want us
Yeah,
to
I
buy
don't-
the
I don't
panel.
think we
They're
can
the ones
keep
who
them.
did our inspection too.
Well,
Am I
they're the ones
correct?
who benefit by the inspection,
Johnson
telling you to
Controls.
buy it.
Yeah, so they're
Inspection.
they probably, because they want us to buy the panel, they probably reduced it. I don't know.
But
I
my,
mean,
I
it's only
guess my
$800
question,
more.
no, I get that, but my question is why are their parts so much more than the other estimate? I mean, it's worth that ask. I'm sorry, but
and she's
we
referring
have to ask.
she's referring to the Impact Fire
With the no panel.
with the no panel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to look at the breakdown, unfortunately.
But you're gonna get a panel regardless, right? So you,
We
those other two,
definitely
you
want a
might as well
panel.
throw that right out with no panel.
Well, that's the
The
thing.
ones
I
with
mean,
no panel, you might as well get rid of them altogether if you're gonna get
Yeah,
a panel.
she's
You
just-
can't even,
I know, so I mean,
But you can, because it's all part of it, Mike, and you have to look at that. I mean, I know it's easier just to say, let's go with a cheaper total cost, but I'm sorry, if, my question here, and it doesn't hurt to ask the question, why are there other parts so much more money than the other estimate? I know their total quote is less, but I think we have the right to ask why such a big difference.
Well, I can certainly ask for a breakdown of their parts and ask why it was so much more. I mean, I could then another quote that we got for the same materials, I can ask.
I mean,
Yeah.
now
I
that
mean, it's
you,
worth just an ask, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't mind calling them and asking them.
because now that you pointed out that this one was actually 49.96,
Yeah.
this makes sense that the panel would be an additional $800. I get that. But then you look at these two ones, why is it $3,000 difference? It's like, what makes,
Why?
yeah. Why is their quote $3,000 difference just to add the panel? Or the other way to say it is, why is their quote what, $2,000 less
Right, so
than all the other
did
ones.
one have an error here? Not that we'll be able to point out, but I'm sorry, we have to ask those questions when you break it down.
Hmm.
I don't have a breakdown either.
No, neither one has a breakdown
No.
of different parts.
Other than the sum,
Right.
Right, yeah.
Well, the Johnson Controls does have, parts
Well, they have parts,
Yeah.
but they don't have
and
cost.
labor.
yeah.
So I have no idea.
Well,
what
and
they're
these
charging.
just list everything they're doing, same thing, but without their
There's,
So-
no,
quote numbers.
So does it cost more to install a panel?
yeah, I don't know. So, do you want to table this until next month and let me get more information? Or are you going to approve it with additional information, or what do you wanna do?
How long do we wanna,
I-
how long do we wanna be without fire protection?
Well, I
No, it's been 20 years, I mean, we're gonna do this, it's just, I personally would like to have some answers. And we have to really be responsible in our expenditures, that's all. Just,
how does the rest of the board feel?
I don't have a problem with getting the breakdown, but now we know. Before we didn't know what we didn't know, now we know what we didn't know, and God forbid. You know,
Yeah.
I just saying if we are that vulnerable right now, you certainly wouldn't have non-working smoke detectors in your house or, you know what I'm saying?
I do, I
So-
know exactly what you're saying, it just makes me nervous.
well, we're at the
Yeah.
9th, we're meeting again on the 1st. I mean, so we should have answers by then to be able to
Yeah,
put
I'll call
in a
tomorrow.
proper vote.
Meeting on the sixth.
The sixth.
Meeting on the
Oh.
6th.
Yeah. It's about a month.
It is a month.
But it's the first Monday of the month,
Correct.
It is, it's
Yeah.
6th, yeah.
sorry.
Okay, well, there's a motion, there's a motion here.
We can table it.
We
Yeah,
can
we can
table
table
it,
it.
we can table it if you all agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to see why it's such a big difference. And this one seems to make more sense. This one is so vague.
Yeah, I had a little trouble with that one too, in terms of the way it was put together.
Maybe that's the problem with it. They were just vague. They're in the same ballpark as far as total, but they were just vague.
I mean, it doesn't even have numbers of material items, like the Johnson one.
And I understand what you're saying, Amy, but I think this one does make pretty good sense.
Well, I mean.
Well, it
we
makes
can
sense, yes,
No,
it's just,
no,
but
no.
why
No.
are their parts so much more other than the panel? That's all.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's a motion, we can vote on it.
Yeah, we had a first and a second to go with
Yeah.
Johnson, right?
The Johnson with the panel at 5866.
I think we should just table it, but.
The rest of you have any strong feelings? Put it to roll call, there's a motion. Right, there's a motion. Put- If you don't, if you just vote it down, if you want to table it, vote it
Yeah.
down, and I'll get more information, but let's just get it out there and vote on it.
You're right, Mayor, it needs to be voted down, you can't just retract it. Motion
Yeah,
to the
so
table on the
if
floor.
you want more information before we vote on it, vote it down. If you're fine with the 5866, and I promise I will get more details anyway, vote for it. Whatever you wanna do, just vote your mind.
Trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
No.
trustee Trombley,
Nay.
trustee Garrett,
Yeah.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. So it's 3-2?
Yep.
Okay, I will get the information,
So now we can table it.
yes. Okay. Copier machine. All right, so you've got a quote from National and another one from SimQuest. Excuse me, the, national is, $5,676.20 with a service contract of $237.12. And SimQuest is $3,295, service contract $400. Let's get a motion out there to discuss it.
So
Yeah, but there's two different kinds for each, right? It's not that simple?
Well,
Right?
true, okay.
Alright, so can I just
Yeah.
make a basic motion
Yes, make a
to,
basic motion and then we can
purchase
just.
a new copier? Can we make that vague right now so we
Sure.
can discuss?
Okay.
I'll
No,
second.
Okay, so ladies, do you have a preference here with what you use it for? You guys are the ones that really need to give us a recommendation. So you've got the two options of the 253 or the 4003 through Tescalfa, from Ashley Fay. And then David Reynolds is the other one. Do you guys have a preference or no?
No.
They explain nothing.
Yes, he did, he did, Dave did come in and talk to us, from SimQuest. I think it's a little smaller copier than what we have. It's actually a, black and white plus a colored copier. With the service contract, they pay, they come in and service it for us and, supply our ink.
Right, nice.
Yeah, right now, our little copier in there that's colored, it's $100 and some odd dollars per color, and it takes 3 colors. 4,
That's
excuse me.
crazy. So, with this, the hybrid method, that you don't need the color, if we get color, we pay for that roll separate, correct? Is that my understanding of this?
Yes, I think you're right.
Say that again?
So, you don't have to get the color component, but if we want it, there's an extra charge for that, for the roll, am I correct?
It's a little, I think it's a little bit more for the actual unit, but in either situation, the annual service contract covers the cost of both black ink
In
and
colored
colored.
ink.
Right, so the SimQuest is only $32.95, I'm understanding,
Mhm.
and the rate for color pages is more if we go over the amount, but it's a huge difference. But you're okay with SimQuest?
We don't even go near the copies that,
Right,
Yeah, we've
Your
never met
copies.
31,000.
right, so that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's irrelevant, so
Yeah.
why not go SimQuest?
And
Yeah.
the first 3 months are free.
Okay, so I make amend my motion to go with the purchase of SimQuest in the amount of $32.95.
Is there a second on that amendment?
I'll second.
Okay. Other discussion? I don't wanna rush you.
No,
I
that's
just wanna make sure
sense
that
to me
everyone-
too, but I just wanted to understand because it was so big of a difference.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's like-
well, yeah, yeah.
I think that the biggest, it's because it's part of the government contract.
Yeah, the government contract's higher.
No, originally it was $75.90 for that machine,
no, SimQuest is,
Simquest.
is, contract pricing.
State contract.
Yeah.
State contract,
That's what I meant. That's what brought
that's
it
why
down
it's
to
$32.95.
Oh,
which is
okay.
really good price.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. I thought it was the reverse.
No,
I was wondering why the state was so much higher.
no,
No.
Why did I read
that
this
one
so
there is
funky
state
round?
contract.
Okay, anyway, my motion doesn't change.
Any other discussion?
Thank you for clarifying.
Roll call.
Trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Malinsky,
Aye.
trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Garrett,
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. Village code books, these have to be ordered because, we have some updates with some of our new laws. So we will pay for the supplementation, that's not a question. The question is the option at the bottom.
Right.
So you can either get the one with the post binders, or you can get the large 3-ring binders.
Do you have a preference,
They-
ladies? Again,
Mary
you're
and Juanita
dealing
can
with this.
explain, we talked it over, I think the preference is the post binder.
To get 2 of the post binders, cause they're very heavy duty and will keep the pages in good shape. And we can also make copies of our own binders, individual binders for zoning and planning separately if we needed to do that. But to have really 2 very good ones, and we've got Juanita and I both have the post binders,
Yeah, the little
binders,
tiny ones.
smaller versions of them that, you know, have, I don't even know how old they are, but they're still in very good shape and it keeps the pages in good shape. You can take those out and make copies if you needed to, make
Okay.
additional binders on our own. I think we're looking at going to the county to do that.
Going to the county to
Cause
get.
now they only come in 8x10s.
You can't get the small books anymore, it's only in the large size books.
Probably better
And
anyway.
then having the county print
Make us
some for
copies,
the
yeah.
binders, the 3-ring binders. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the purchase of the reprint 2 code volumes, 8.5 by 11, in the amount of $1,050.
And then the
And
supplementation will be added to
supplementation of
that.
$785. Added to that,
$18.35.
for a lot of money. Let's see, 5, 13, 35, so $18.35. Correct, is that my math in my head?
Yep.
Is there a
That's right.
second?
Second.
Thank you, Nikki. Other discussion?
Do we have any other codes that need to be updated before we do this?
No, we
Not
just
right
did.
now. We actually waited till we got 3 of
Yeah.
them done.
Positive, nothing on the board that we need to take a look at, cause
That I
this
can
is
think of.
crazy
I know, it's
expensive.
expensive.
Well, you gotta think when we did the down street, changed all that we only have copies of that, we don't actually have it in our,
Oh, that's true, the whole
yeah, it's not
revitalization
actually
zoning plan.
in the binder.
And what about though our change for the fire, we were supposed to take a look at that as to what we're gonna do going forward. So we still have that to address.
No, we leave it in the
So-
code as it's not permitted, and then we do a moratorium if we
Okay.
choose with
Alright,
our
just making
rules.
sure.
So we'll be okay on that.
Dear God, what a game. I need new business.
Any other comments?
Well, we'll have update, the mayor in there right now, I think was Jeff Moore.
Jeff Moore.
Isn't in the
That
old
was a long
conference.
time ago.
Yeah.
So we'll get updates on
I
that.
remember that though, I was here for that too.
I looked at my old book at home and it's 2005.
And you said you had a little bit of copies in your copy machines, you able to make them when they get here.
That's
Not
right.
if they're found, how do you
Right,
have
first
copies?
3 months, so just might as well copy them here.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, roll call.
Trustee Trombley, trustee Malinsky, trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Garrett,
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. Okay. Village Fest, I think we're all getting pretty tired right now. These are just ideas that I brainstormed and came up with, and I'm putting them out there. And I guess my first question to you is everyone on board to try something different this summer? Or do you still wanna go, I just wanna make sure that you wanna go with the ice cream social on the, whatever it was, second Saturday of August. Everyone willing to try something new, because it will be a lot of work,
Mhm. And earlier in the summer.
and earlier in the summer,
Oh, we're on board.
okay. I don't know how you wanna approach this right now, it's getting late, everyone's probably getting a little fried. Are there certain things in the list that you think, oh, that would be cool, and do you wanna I'll circle them?
Local art show,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
kids talent show,
Okay, let me
I
just.
don't know, something different.
Yeah.
Other than the activities that we've
I
already
think
done.
we'll include the ice cream social again
Yeah.
though, right?
Yep.
We're still gonna put in the ice cream.
Do you have a date when you were looking at this?
I'm going to leave that up to all of you, because I really, really want you all there. Not only because we need the help working, but it just is a great community time to show them that the board is part of the community.
So can we send back dates? I do have to look at calendar.
Yeah.
We all do.
I think it has to be a Saturday, it can't be a Sunday,
Yeah.
for me anyway.
No, it's
Okay.
better for everyone.
Saturday's fine. And
It's
what,
better for attendance,
mid-July, do you think?
I
Third
think
week in July,
anytime in
maybe?
July right now is that.
Fine.
I need to bring my
Do you wanna
calendar.
look at your calendars at home and email me a
Let me see if I have it in here.
good date?
We are not available the 18th
Okay,
of July,
what's the following week, Saturday?
25th.
25th.
How would that be?
I don't
Yeah.
have,
I have to
Cold Creek,
check,
is that weekend?
Okay,
just to be
Cold Creek is
positive.
the
Yeah.
7th.
On rentals, that's no
Yeah.
problem.
That's the one you're talking
absolutely.
about?
I'm not
I
sure when
underst-
that rental's leaving.
I understand that. I think rather than take up time now, look at your calendars,
I'll send you an
email me a date,
Mhm.
and I'll see where it works, and
Yeah,
I'll
we-
get it right back to you, and then you can write it in.
We've already got some plans of using the fifth wheel this year that we haven't been able to do for the past 8 years, so.
Good for you.
we-
Yeah, and I've got some
Plan
plans too,
done.
yeah. Okay,
Gone,
so you'll get
so-
back to me on that.
Yeah.
What other, I know that the, old folks stories, that was
Love that.
that was popular, that was brought up, just name your top two or something, and,
I mean, we didn't have a lot of, how was it last year, cause I wasn't here, but the year before, there wasn't a lot that came for the kids. And that's a lot of work.
We had rain for 2 years in a row.
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, we
That's
weren't
right.
here last year. I don't know
Yeah.
where we were, but
it
we
was
were.
drizzly.
Cold and
Mhm.
windy, yeah, it was just bad weather.
Well, what I like is the game component for what we have down there to draw in, as
Yes.
well as that with the kayak showing
Yeah.
what all our features are.
Yeah,
We really wanted to bring that out. Open air movie, I think we're gonna have difficulty with that.
Mhm.
Well, the music
Company
slash
did that
concert.
before, we could do a concert that night at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but then is everybody gonna be too tired after doing all the activities to throw in the concert?
maybe.
Well, that's it, if you've got something that's going
People
from
aren't gonna
noon
come.
until 8 o'clock at night,
Right.
too
well,
long.
your people that are doing it are gonna be, I can tell you right now, by
Yeah.
like 8 o'clock after a day like that, especially if it's
Mhm.
July and it's hot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And you don't
so I
use
think we
it
should
for-
keep the
Yeah.
concerts separate,
Yeah,
like we've
that's
done,
fine.
is great.
That's fine.
It just gets more, if you do your concerts in the park separately, then it's
Mhm.
more opportunities for people to use the park.
So I think if we focus it like we talked about last time on what we have available, throw in the farmer's market and people can look at vendors or whatever as while we're doing all the other stuff.
The food truck.
Pass a dish, the food truck if you want, or you know,
Mhm.
it's just the community coming
Yeah.
together to enjoy each other. And I would suggest that we have a rain date scheduled. Because it's gonna be an expense to cancel everything altogether, should we have a backup.
And not the following day.
And, well,
But
maybe we
make it
could
on a
do it the
Sunday.
following day,
Well,
but.
if, if we rent the tent, it's set up, and then
Right.
the following day, it can still be there, you don't, really
I
don't wanna
know.
get it, and then
Right,
they set it up on Friday usually. And then if it rains on Saturday and you say, oh, I guess we'll have it next week, well, we don't.
right, well,
wanna do
we'll know the forecast if we're due for horrible, terrible weather, right? You know, and then if it's gonna be the same on Sunday, if you let the tent company know if it's available, it can
Yeah.
get shifted. But we can ask that question in the scheduling process, but I think that just based on the past 2 year luck,
I know.
always good to
So,
have
so
that
basically,
backup.
when we're doing our dates, and we'll give it, try to
Give
give
out a
it
couple.
2 dates,
that. Yeah,
Okay,
if we
That's
can,
good.
if possible.
food truck.
July is tight.
I know, so it might end up being either a Saturday or Sunday based on
Yeah.
our schedules.
What do you mean by pop-up shop?
a pop-up shop is when you get a vendor that brings in, they bring in their shop, and
Definitely.
they create it right
Yep.
there.
Mm-hmm.
They can be outdoors, they can be in buildings. You could
Yep.
get a building that has available space and just create a shop.
Well, and keep in mind, the more things that we have, the more people will come.
Yeah,
So if we're able to get these things in line, that would be great. You know, we could divvy up, decide what we want, and then divvy up, each of us making some phone calls for it to break up the
Mhm.
work. So if we do that, I think that would be a great way.
Do you know when the Moore's Car Show is?
That's
It's early.
yes.
It's,
Yeah.
it's early, isn't
is
it?
that part of St. Anne's?
Yeah.
Was it June last year?
Yeah, like the first week of,
Yeah.
beginning of June. Well, I
Car
see
shows
car
are
show,
pretty popular,
they are
They are.
popular, but they're a
And
lot
we
of work
got
to
a lot
organize
of,
too.
we got a lot
Yeah,
of
they
locals
are.
though with cars that
But
can
if
just
you-
bring them down.
I've done them
Well, I can
before
bring
through
mine
the
down,
high
but-
school.
Right,
They are a lot of work to organize. for
Well,
them.
and just if your weather is crappy,
they don't come,
no,
yeah,
they do not come.
right, no, I get that. So something to think about. So why don't we just leave it as this, we're gonna come back with dates, and why don't we send back also the things on this list that we like,
Okay,
that are in common, and then Janet, you can decide divvying it up,
Sure.
just tell us what to do, give
Yeah.
it to us, and we can make the
Okay.
calls and whatnot.
great.
So if you're in the car show business, do you wanna just do that component of it, if you, do you have connections?
Let me ask other people that have organized them, yeah, to see
Yeah,
how much
just
work
get a
it
feel.
is. All I
Nick
get from
is
them
in
is
that
a lot of work,
group.
it's all I've heard, so
Oh, okay.
let me get a better feel for
Nick
it.
Malinsky's in this car group.
Oh,
Yeah.
so perfect, so whichever, you know,
One of the great places for a car show is at the playground, cause you
That
could
round.
back them in because you can go all the way
all the
around.
way around, well, awesome.
And, that's a great spot for a car show.
And there would be nothing wrong with us, obviously splitting up the event between the two parts.
Oh, that's fine, we want people to
We
move
wanna
around.
see what we have,
Mhm,
and hopefully we'll have that stencil piece
mhm.
done.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so you're gonna send me dates, you're gonna send me your top likes. And
Yeah.
then I'm going to divvy it up.
And then if anybody has any other ideas that they want, and
Oh,
throw
yeah,
it
this
in.
is certainly not limited to this.
Yeah.
This is just me
Okay.
brainstorming.
Alright, so by the end of, by next Monday, get you these answers?
Yeah, okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right, EDU coordinator, did you get an answer on that, Tom?
Yes, he asked for more time,
Okay, so I'm going to
because he
wait,
was going away, please wait,
I'm gonna wait on that, so that's just tabled.
yeah, let's
That's
do
fine,
that,
there's no,
'cause
there's no rush.
he's seriously considering it,
Okay,
I think it's worth waiting.
okay, absolutely, I'm fine with that. I do have to add a quick Earth Day proclamation that I have to read. I don't need a motion for this, do I?
I'm gonna just read it.
Good. Okay, resolution number 5, Village of Champlain proclamation of Clinton County Cleanup Day. Whereas it is the sense of the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees, the board, to acknowledge and celebrate significant events of importance to Clinton County. And whereas attendant to such concern, the board recognizes and draws attention to the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, to be held on April 22nd, 2020. And whereas Earth Day is a day of national prominence and recognition to encourage focus on environmental education and activism, originally inspired by Wisconsin Senator Gaylord Nelson in 1970. And whereas the board also takes this opportunity to recognize and provide thanks to the Climate Action Coalition, made up of the Earth Week Planning Committee, the League of Women Voters, Natural Resources Committee, Climate Reality Project, and Citizens Climate Lobby, whose mission is to bring together community groups and individuals by assisting regional municipalities to participate in programs through education about and promotion and preservation of sound environmental practices. And whereas the organizations involved with the Climate Action Coalition have been planning activities for the citizens of our county to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day during the week of April 18th through the 25th, 2020. And whereas each spring, local municipalities begin cleaning up the debris of winter and the litter that accumulates along streets, roadsides, and in parks. And whereas research shows citizens who come together to improve their surroundings create a sense of pride in their towns, villages, and cities. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the board hereby proclaims Saturday, April 25th, 2020 as Clinton County Cleanup Day, the culmination of the week's Earth Day events, and a day the trustees encourage people to come together in their local communities to engage in activities to improve their local environments. Dated March 9th, 2020, and I'll sign this. Let me add that our Arbor Day celebration and our Earth Day celebration will be on April 25th. And I just received notification today that again, we were awarded status as a Tree City USA. So we also got that recognition. Okay. Whew. Old business. Contamination cleanup, just a little bit of information. The product level controls said that the system should be completed by this past Friday. The ship date should be early this week, and then the site will be, the site work will be scheduled. So supposedly it's moving forward,
Supposed to let us know when they come in.
yeah. So that's all I can say, but at least that's something. For the snowplow purchase, the grant application is still at USDA. It was assigned to another person, not Renee, but she reassures me that she's working very closely with this person, and she seemed hopeful. The LED lights, I just signed the agreement with NYSEG to buy out the unexpired value of the non-LED lights for $3,788, which we knew all along. And then they will be scheduling the replacement. And apparently we're the first municipality that has signed with NYSEG so far.
Uh-oh.
No, I think it's good.
Trendsetters.
I don't know, NYSERDA is really happy with us. Hate to do this to you, I know it's getting late, but I need a quick executive session. So can I have a motion?
So moved?
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Does that just close the regular one? Do I have to open up
We
one?
usually do both, don't we?
Okay, so a motion
Make motion
to,
to leave, regular session?
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, just take a minute.
I make a motion to leave executive session.
And is there a second?
Second.
All
I
right,
make a
all-
motion to, we didn't have to vote.
Go into
Yeah,
regular.
it's a motion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Sorry. Make a motion to go back into regular session.
That's
All in
Amy and
And Kim.
Kim.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
Tom, I think you had an announcement.
I did, it should have been during my report, I wanted to remind everybody, next week is election day, on the 18th.
Well, it's very good you reminded me of that fact. Oh, I'm not even in town next week. Do we have absentee voting?
We do.
Ah, how far in advance do I have to request?
2 weeks ago. No, I'm sorry.
My husband's out of town too again. He's in the country at least.
It's at 10 days.
I don't remember.
Pretty sad.
Yeah,
I can't
anybody
come
did
vote
last
for
year.
myself. No,
You're not
I didn't know we
gonna
I'll
get
had
check
it.
it.
It's 9 days, is it?
It's 9 days.
It's 9 days out, yeah.
Am I
Anyways,
safe?
my,
No?
my,
Eight?
It's 10,
I'll
Next
check.
Tuesday? Okay, let me
Wednesday,
know.
no, it's Wednesday because of St.
Wednesday.
Patrick's Day.
Oh, so it's 9 days. It's still today. I need
Yes.
2 absentee ballots, one for Hall, one for me. He's out of town to request it today, but he did want one. I said, I don't think we do that.
Yeah, we do.
Beautiful.
Okay, so
Okay.
is that it? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second?
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay, I wanna stay.
Aye.
Gonna miss you, Amy.